Good morning vlog. It is Sunday, April 7th, and we are heading to church because my wife has a solo anthem to do this morning for service. She's doing a Lauren Daigle song, or as we like to call her, Christian Adele. They did a fantastic job this morning with her solo. I didn't record it, but I'll record it for second service because she's going to be doing the same thing, and I'll be doing mixing while she's doing that. But right now I'm trying to wait for the early service to end so I can pull Pastor Audie aside and we can use his other body pack microphone that he has. I did some troubleshooting earlier this week and found that there's actually a short in his microphone line that connects to his wireless body pack that we use to record the podcast, and that's how we get the direct audio and quality audio for the podcast, at least for when he's speaking. There's a short in that line just because I guess it's so old and we've been using them for so long, the connections can kind of wear out. The thing with microphone wires in general is that you have a couple of different wires inside the insulation, and over time those wires can just rub up against one another and just wear one another away, and the insulation that's even inside the wire even more, and that's what causes that short and that crackling. And so that's why just over time you start getting audio issues in wires, especially if you keep moving them around, stepping on them, things like that. It can cause breaks along the line and cause the electrons to be disrupted on the way from the microphone to the recording area or to the mixer. So I'm gonna pull Pastor Audie aside and see if he can just disconnect his microphone from his body pack and leave the body pack behind, and then we can connect it to the other body pack. Or I can't remember if his body pack actually uses the same frequency that we use for his Bible class. So if that's just the case, he can just wear the same body pack and then that way, we can just record from there. And we don't even have to swap out the microphone. We just bring that body pack over. I was able to catch Pastor Audie really quick before the whole onslaught of everyone, the congregation coming out of the sanctuary, and relayed that message to him. So now I'm heading back over to the classroom, making sure everything is set up because the SD card wasn't in there earlier, since we're doing other recordings throughout the week. And so the SD card kind of wandered off, but I think Toby has put it back in by now, and I'm gonna go double check that and make sure we're ready to go for the latest recording of Messiah's Upper Room podcast. For late service to start right now. We just got done doing a little bit of a warm-up, and I'll try and see if I can shoot a couple of shots in between getting ready on the board and whatnot, so you can see a little bit behind the scenes mixing. So I have the camera set up here, and this is the board behind me, and the singers are on the other side, this way outside of the camera shot.
continue with our first lesson, taken from the book of Isaiah, chapter 43. Thus says the Lord, who makes a way in the sea, a path in the mighty water.
With second service, and I've also gone back to Pastor Adi's class to get both the bad microphone and his good microphone. We were able to swap out the microphones on the body pack like I thought. But we still need to solve that issue and hopefully get new microphones. And hey there, come on through. Good morning. But yeah, so and also it looks like with one of the SD cards that may have been corrupted through the swapping out of recording of other podcasts throughout the week. So we're gonna have to do some troubleshooting on the other SD card just to see if we can get that back up and running again. I do have some spare SD cards that I could probably bring over later in the week, but I'm afraid, I have a suspicion that it may be because the SD cards aren't being properly removed from the computers that they're attached to, and that can cause a corruption. Trying to constantly write and rewrite to it, or just formatting it wrong, can cause some corruption that way. So just needed to double check on a few of those things before going forward, because now we're down to just one SD card, and if that goes, then that can put kind of a stress on future podcasts. But I mean, we can just get more SD cards, but at the same time, don't really want to incur those costs if it can be avoided. Back at the apartment for now, and something that I've been wanting to do for a while, ever since I got these things, was to clean up some of these old stuffed toys, stuffed animals and whatnot from my parents that they just held on to, and just for sentimental reasons, I don't know. But it's time to get rid of it because they're going to be moving to a smaller place, downsizing, and this stuff won't be able to fit wherever they're moving to. So I'm trying to help them out and sell or donate some of this stuff. And I'm going to try and help raise some funds for them by selling some of this stuff. So I'm starting with these stuffed animals and stuffed toys. Like there's a SpongeBob pillow, a couple of Winnie the Pooh toys, Clifford the Big Red Dog, and an old Cabbage Patch, whatever child thing, whatever this toy is. It is old AF, and I'm going to try and clean them up a little bit because they have this musty smell. There's dust that has gathered over the decades of them being in storage in a garage. So I did some research online on how to clean these guys out, and even if I've learned that even though some toys like this Winnie the Pooh guy says that, oh, it's surface washable only, that is not the case. What is really happening is that you just want, when they say it's surface washable, we don't want you to mess it up by getting the whole thing soaked and then there's mildew happening on the inside. So as long as you thoroughly dry it, apparently these toys will be just fine. So I have already drawn a bath with a little bit of detergent, some very small amount, and as well as some a little bit of OxiClean in there as well. Getting a borax cleaner in there to help better strip away and strip out that dirt that has found its way into all the nooks and crannies of these stuffed toys over the years. And yeah, I'm just going to clean these guys out, wash them thoroughly, and then rinse them thoroughly. That's also a key thing. You want to get all that detergent and OxiClean out of it as much as you want it in there to help strip the dirt. You want to strip out the OxiClean and the detergent afterwards. So I'm just going to go through the process here. I might shoot a little bit of extra footage showing the process, but that's what I'm doing right now. The goal is that once these are cleaned up and whatnot, I'll be able to list them online and hopefully sell them. I actually saw this SpongeBob pillow that has sold on eBay for $20. So maybe I'll be able to get something around a similar price range out of it in the future. So I've already started the process a little bit. I feel like I'm drowning these animals. Just holding their head underwater and squeezing the water through them. But yeah, you can kind of already tell. I don't know if you can see over here, but the water is already kind of turned a very gross brownish discoloration. And yeah, that's just all the dirt that's been inside of these things, and I'm just agitating them a little bit, getting the water and the mixture through these animals as best I can. And I'm gonna let them soak for a little bit, about maybe 10-15 minutes, and then will come the rinsing process. So I'm just letting these guys soak for right now, but it kind of looks like a stuffed toy murder scene. It's like the water's already pretty brown, but yep, I'm just letting them soak for about 10-15 minutes. All right, so I've let these guys soak long enough. Give them like maybe one final squeeze all around. Yeah. Just get in there. And now to just pull the plug here, let it drain a little bit, and then we'll go and get all these suds out of here. All right, so now I'm letting the tub fill back up a little bit with just plain cold water, and I've squeezed out as much of the soapy solution as I could, and now it's just time to let the plain water come on in, the pure water come on in, and then I'm going to kind of repeat the process, except just with plain old water, and get as many of those suds out of the stuffed animals as much as I can. And then whenever I drain that, then I'll not wring them out. You want to be kind of careful with how much pressure and whatnot you press on with these stuffed animals. You don't want to accidentally rip them or like lose any of the stitches or anything like that. You just want to kind of try and get as much water out as you can before you hang them up to dry. Well, I finished rinsing them. Now I'm kind of just drying them out the best that I can, get as much extra moisture out of here. I've already hung up a few, and since the number of them have lessened, I've moved the remaining soaked ones to the sink. And so I'm just going to try and squeeze out the rest of the water the best that I can here. And then hang them up on clothespins over the bathtub. And I'm just repurposing the shower curtain here as just a water catcher to help direct it into the bathtub. So I don't know how long it's going to take to fully dry these guys out, but I'm going to rotate them every so often to get different portions exposed to the air, especially SpongeBob here. He's just a little too heavy to hang by the clothespin. I'm going to set up a couple of fans just to have some air circulation happening in here, so it just isn't stagnant. I have a small little USB fan here that I'm going to throw in, and then also there's another fan, a vertical fan, that I'm going to place like right near the entrance to the bathroom door here to help get some air circulating in and out. All right, I got these guys hung up as best I could and strung up as best I could to be drying, and just give these guys periodically a little squeeze near the bottom here where the water just collects, help it dry out a little bit faster. There's just so much water these guys hold on to. It's crazy. Maybe that's why you're not supposed. They tell you to not wash them. It's just a pain to dry. But anyway, I'm gonna let them go ahead and do their drying thing. And I have the fan set up here, and I have another fan set up here to blow in some cooler air, I guess, some drier air rather, and just help circulate that around. And now, while those are drying, it's time to do some dishes.